There are three things that you must do in your slip and fall cases in Georgia. Number one, you must be able to describe what made you fall. It was water. Even if it was a liquid and you weren't sure what it was a liquid, an oily liquid, a greasy liquid, a orange liquid. It was an uneven rug. It was an uneven pavement. It was grapes or produce, or I even have had a ketchup packet that caused the slip and fall. But you must be able to describe the hazard as the first pitfall to avoid. If you cannot describe the hazard, you are out in Georgia. So that is the first pitfall to avoid. The second pitfall to avoid in your slip and fall case in Georgia is what we call prior traversal. Prior traversal is, say for instance, I walk past a spot where there is clearly water, well, not clearly, but there's water on the floor. If I pass it once and I don't slip and fall, the law in Georgia presumes that you saw it. And if you are coming back the same way and pass the same spot and you slip and fall on the water, you're out. Prior traversal, if you walk past that spot more than once, the law presumes that you saw it and that you can no longer have a slip and fall case. So if you fall in Georgia, you cannot have walked past that same spot prior to your fall. That is the second pitfall to avoid in your slip and fall personal injury case. The third pitfall to avoid in your slip and fall case is if an obstruction or whatever made you fall is open and obvious. If it's, say for instance, I've had people who have fallen over a tire. Well, a tire is pretty obvious. There are other factors that come into it. So don't just say, oh, I don't have a case. But if you fall over a tire or a pallet or a pile of boxes or anything that is big and a layperson, anyone who's paying attention to what they're doing can see it, that is a pitfall. If you slip and fall over that, that's something that you're in a dangerous area. Still call us and I can go ahead and explore, because there are things and ways to maneuver around that, particularly if there are building code violations, but that's getting into the weeds. But there are particular ways to avoid it, but you're in dangerous territory if you fall over a open and obvious hazard. So that is the third area to avoid. But if you fall in a restaurant, a store, a commercial building, any areas where you might have, the airport, any areas where you might have fallen, please give the foster firm a call. We handle these cases all the time. 404-559-8325.